Okay, so this video is for questions, 8 through 11. So 8 says write an equation and solve for x. So looking below, that is a triangle. We know the angles of a triangle add to 180. So we are adding everything up and then we set it equal to 180. I suggest not trying to simplify before you write everything down, because if you do make a mistake, you're not going to be able to get those points because we won't know what you're doing wrong. So please make sure you're showing the work so then we can see where you go wrong if you do. So now we are going to combine like terms. So 5x plus 4x plus 6x. We are definitely going to make sure that we leave the symbol that's there because we are not moving across the equal sign. So I'm not changing anything to any other thing. So what I mean by that is I'm not doing 5x minus 4x. I'm going to just leave it. So 5 plus 4 plus 6 is going to give me 15x, and then negative 3, make sure you use that negative, minus 2 minus 10 is negative 15 equals 180. So then we're going to add 15 to both sides. We get 15x equals 195, and then we divide both sides by 15. And you get x equals 13. All right, number 9, it says, are these lines parallel, perpendicular, and neither? Explain how you know. So to find out if things are parallel or perpendicular or neither, to find out any of that stuff, you're looking at slope, and you're always looking at slope if you are given the equations. So I am just looking at the 3/5, and I'm just looking at the negative 5/2. For them to be parallel, they would have to be the same, so that's out. We would want them to be the same, so if you want to write yourself a note for that. And then perpendicular, opposite reciprocals. So what that means is two things have to happen. The fractions have to flip and the signs have to change. So the sign did change, but the fraction flipped for just the 5, but the 3 and the 2 are not the same. So that's a problem. So it's neither. So I'm going to just show you that if we had 3 over 5 and negative 5 over 3, those would be opposite reciprocals because they're using flipping the numbers and changing the sign. So neither, they aren't the same, and are also not opposite reciprocals. Okay, so number 10, it says plot points 2, 4. So let's start with that, 2, 4. Remember, this is x and y, so let's write that. X, y. Oh, that looks like another x, sorry. And then x, y. So 2, 4. So that's A. And negative 3, 2. And that's a segment, so we're going to connect those. And it says rotate that 90 degrees clockwise about the origin and label the image. So turning that 90 degrees clockwise, B is going to be now at 2, 3. So that's B prime. And A is going to be at 4, negative 2. That's A prime. And it just said label it. It didn't say you had to list the points. So just as long as you're getting that prime on there, that's what's important. And you'll be able to use tracing paper for this if you need it in class and also on the test. Number 11, it says find the missing side length in each right triangle. So we're going to use a squared plus b squared equals c squared, and c is the hypotenuse no matter what. And remember, hypotenuse means the longest side of the triangle. You can think about it as the side across from 90. So in the first one, the side across from 90 is the hypotenuse. Oh, sorry, because that's what it is, but that's also c. And then in this one, the hypotenuse is the 8. So I'm going to write A, B. Those don't matter. C does matter where that is. A, B, and this has to be C. So now I'm going to write 7 squared plus 8 squared equals c squared. And then I'm going to solve it. So I square everything first. So 7 squared is 49. And then 8 squared is 64 equals c squared. And then I'm going to add 49 plus 64. So I get 114 equals c squared. And then to do the opposite of squaring, to get rid of the square, you're going to square root. So the square root of 114 is going to be 10.677. Remember, we're rounding 3 decimal places. It will be very clear on the test how you're supposed to round. So then for the next one, we go 7 squared plus x squared equals 8 squared. This is set up very different than this. You see the difference there? I know that the same numbers, but it's different pictures here. So then we're going to do again 49 plus x squared equals 64. So the difference here is the 49 and the x squared together, so you have to move the 49. This is why we write an equation, because this is a different outcome than this was. So we're writing the equation every time because we want to make sure that we're doing the correct stuff. So x squared equals 64 minus 49, which is 15. And then to undo squaring, we square root. So the square root of 15 out 3 decimal places is x equals 3.873, because it's 3.8729. The 9 tells the 2 to become a 3.